Yeah, Dan, what are buzzwords?
Oh, what a good question. What are buzzwords, she asked. Well, buzzwords are these amazing science vocab words that I want all my teams, all my classes to know by the end of the year. Now, how do you know these words? Well, I created a whole game and a way for your teams to get more points just by getting me to say these buzzwords. Now, the thing is, I have to say these buzzwords in a special way that you created. And if I don't say them in the way that I'm supposed to say them and you catch me, I'm going to award your team 5 points every time you catch me. Now here's the deal. You got to catch me within at least 30 seconds. You can't raise your hand about 10 minutes later and be like, Dan, excuse me, about 10 minutes ago you said photosynthesis in the wrong way. Yeah, well that's a little out of the, let's stick to immediately 30 seconds, alright? Alright, so, what are some of these words? Here they are. Here's how I'm supposed to say these words. You created, which is making my brain crazy and my throat sore. Photosynthesis. Yeah, the half-dead kid in the front. What can I do for you? Yeah.
How do the plants make their own food?
How do plants make their own food? The sun, okay, hits the leaves. The leaves go through this amazing process from the chlorophyll into this process called photosynthesis.
Dan!
Nicholas. Yes, the shoe in the front. What can I do for you?
Hey Dan, what is the center of an atom called?
The center of an atom, one of my favorites. It's called the nucleus.
Dan!
Gravity. Dan's can. What can I do for you?
Dan, how come I fall all the time?
Because you're a klutz.
No, not because you're a klutz. I'm a klutz. That's terrible. Look, the reason you're actually falling is, you know what? There's a really powerful force called gravity.
Dan!
Germinate. Yes, that foot's raised. What can I do for you? Yeah.
Dan, so what does it mean when little seeds start growing into a plant?
Oh, so when a little seed, I know what you're talking, when a seed starts growing into a plant, it starts as a little plant, gets bigger and bigger. We actually call that process germination. All right, fine. Oxygen.
Hey Dan,
Yeah.
I know there's this gas.
Yeah.
It's something that trees give off and humans really need. Do you know what that gas is called?
Okay, there's a gas, wait, I know what you're talking about. The gas that trees give off, right. And humans need it, we all need it. It's oxygen. Right. 5 points.
Thank you.
DNA. Yes. What can I do for you? Yes.
We're all those little molecules that make us who we are.
The little molecules that make us who we are, no one, unless you're an identical twin, has it. The same one. Matter of fact, in evidence, we can tell who committed a crime just by finding the DNA. Satellite. Yes, Sloppy Joe in the front. What could I do for you? Interesting little worm thing. Do you have a question for me?
What are the things that orbit around the Earth?
Well, there's a lot of things that orbit around our Earth, but I think I know what you're talking about. They have solar panels on them, right? And actually, that's a way to communicate around space. They're satellites. Oort cloud. Yes, ruler in the front, what can I do for you?
Where does the comets come from?
Oh, where do comets come from? Awesome, good question. Listen, comets, believe it or not, are a really distant part of our solar system. They're a bunch of broken up frozen balls of ice, and they're all formed in this area that we call the Oort cloud. 5 points. Hey, yes, Dr. Moody in the front. What can I do for you? You got a question for me?
Dan?
You don't sound like Dr. Moody, but yeah.
Dan, so what is the red planet called?
The red planet? Come on, that's Mars. Groundwater. Groundwater. Yeah, that, I'm sure, interesting book. What can I do for you?
Yeah, what's that water that you drink? It's underneath the ground and we pull it up through wells. What's it called?
Through wells. Where you're asking where you get well water from. Under the ground, there's groundwater.
Dan!
Cells. Cells. Yes, the number 2 pencil in the front. What? You have a question for me?
Dan, so what are all living things like made out of?
All living, that's a great question. I love this question because obviously everything's made of atoms, a really tiny thing, right? But believe it or not, in living things, those atoms form together to make these little things, the building blocks of life I love to call cells. El resistance. El resistance. And that obnoxiously sounding bracelet in the front, what can I do for you?
Hey Dan, how come when I drop a sheet of paper, it keeps floating from side to side?
You know what? That's a great question. You're right. When you drop a sheet of paper, it doesn't go straight down because it's fighting air resistance. Hot magma. Hot magma. Hey, anybody know where my smoothie went? It's a berry blast with awesome veggies in it. Hello? Hello? Oh, there you are. Excellent. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, what is a liquid rock under the earth called?
Liquid rock under the earth. I'm glad you mentioned it. That's magma. Not magma.
Dan!
Friction. Friction. Ah, yes, the all-powerful Yoda. What can I do for you?
Dan, when I rub my hands together fast, why does it get warm?
Ah, when you rub your hands like this together, like this, it's actually building up some friction. And
Dan!
Evolution. Evolution. Ah, the Galileo thermometer in the front. Good to see you. You have a question?
Hey Dan, I have an important question.
Okay.
You know Charles Darwin, what theory did he come up with?
Charles Darwin, the guy was a genius. Well, he's one of the first guys that was basically saying that animals basically come from over generations, and I know what you want me to say, evolution.
Dan!
Invertebrate, invertebrate. All right. Any more questions? Have any more questions before I gotta get at? The science cup in the front. What can I do for you?
What are those animals called that don't have a backbone?
Ooh. What are animals called when they don't have a backbone? Very good question. We call them invertebrates.
Dan!
Why do I do this to myself? No more buzzwords. Building these things is difficult. I mean, blueberry smoothie.
Not that stuff
It's
again.
delicious. It's a blueberry smoothie.
Makes me sick.
Anyway, I'm filming these things for you rotten kids. You better appreciate everything that I film. We're on.
Yes, we're on.